Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kendra and today I have a lovely guest. It's my mama. I'm doing her makeup today and I'm really excited. And yeah, she's not gonna look like me. This is a little bit much for her, but I wanted to do a tutorial on a good way for makeup artists to do makeup on skin that is more mature. Don't use any other word here because he's beautiful. Beautiful. We're gonna get started. I hope you enjoy and welcome my mama to my channel. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. All right, so two of my favorite primers to use on anyone is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright primer, and then Tatcha came out with the liquid version of their silk canvas. So first, we're gonna put down the Banana Bright primer. And then after that, we're gonna do some spot applications of the silk canvas. So one of the most important things when you're working with mature skin is making sure you have a good hydrating primer down first, because as we get older our skin does change a lot and it is a lot harder for us to keep moisture in our skin. So I want to make sure put a good moisturizer down first. And I mean, my mom has beautiful skin already, so we're just gonna enhance all of that. Then taking the silk canvas. Now this one is really good for fine lines and wrinkles and also pores. So we don't wanna put this all over the face. We're just gonna put it in certain spots because it is also drying. So we're just gonna put it right here on the cheeks, a little bit on the forehead, where the smile lines are, and then right on the outside of the eye where more smile lines are. See, smile lines. Okay, so now doing foundation, it's actually better where less is definitely more. So I usually like to take a palette of some sort that has a lot of different colors in it, and kind of mix my own shade together. So we want to brighten under the eyes. So doing makeup, doing a base layer, especially when you're working with concealers or foundations, you don't want to use too much. So under the eyes, all we're going to do is on the very inner corners, just like that. So it's just going to brighten it up. And it's also going to be easier to put down your highlights and your contours before, if you're going to be using liquid. It's easier to do it before you put foundation on. And one of the highlighting spots that a lot of people don't really realize on older skin is right in here. Because this is going to create a high cheekbone effect, and it's just going to lift the face because it's going to catch light more. And then we're going to take a damp beauty blender. I do like taking damp beauty blenders more on skin like this because it just makes it melt into the skin a lot easier. And you're not going to get any harsh lines. And as our skin gets older, we also tend to get more red in certain places. So what I like to do, instead of using a full coverage foundation, taking a little bit of a color corrector, going super lightly on those areas. You don't want to take you don't want to be too concerned about canceling out all the color, because that's just more product that's going to sit in fine lines and wrinkles and pores, and that's what we don't want. We want to create a youthful look. Okay, so now for foundation, I'm actually creating a little mixture on the back of my hand right now. I'm using the Dior Backstage foundation. It's a really lightweight but more full coverage foundation, but I'm also mixing in some SPF because we want to make sure that we're protecting our skin at all times. And our skin will thank us for it. So I don't want to do a really full coverage foundation look. Want it to be really light and really fresh. And basically all you want to do is even up the skin tone. Blend a little bit down the neck. And then just go over everything with your beauty blender. Now to really brighten right underneath the eyes, especially in here and in here, we're going to take a very small amount of concealer. That is going to be a few shades lighter. And put it directly under the eye. And then on that high point right here, just bring it up. And then we're going to take our brush and the little bit that's left on our hands, close your eyes, and we're going to go right on the inside of the eye. So now setting the face, you want to take a very finely milled setting powder. So I'm going to be going in with the Fenty Beauty setting powder, and this is in the shade Cashew. You don't want to take too much. You basically just want to do enough just to take moisture out of foundation. And also too, when you're doing your setting powder, you don't want to be pulling on the skin or wiping it. You just want to lightly tap it in, because then that doesn't create any tugging on the skin. Now for a bronzer, which is always a fun part, I do tend to prefer to use powders. If you use a cream, that's fine. Just make sure you are blending it and making sure that it is a light enough weight product that it doesn't look cakey, because that is a tendency when you use a cream on a cream on a cream and then put a bunch of powder on top. The whole point of doing makeup on more mature skin is to make the skin look more youthful and make this face more youthful, just make everything
10 years younger.
10 years younger, yes. That's what we're aiming for today, apparently. Okay, now, other key thing. As we do get older, our skin is not as tight as it used to be. All of the things are not where they used to be 10 years ago. We're gonna make it look like they're there. Okay? So, again, we're not gonna be swiping at all. We're gonna be tapping everything in. So here, luckily, my mother is blessed with high cheekbones and has also blessed me with said cheekbones. They're beautiful. So she has this line right here. We're gonna go right under it and we're gonna tap. Keeping everything to, look straight, keeping everything to this part of the face is gonna give it a higher cheekbone look. It's gonna make everything look high and tight and like we're like 25 years old. That is the goal, right? You wanna look like you don't have a daughter. So, after we tap in here, I'm gonna take a little bit right at the top. And again, tapping it in. Tapping is gonna be your best friend. Makes everything blend together so easily. So look forward. So you can already see a really big difference with how the shape of the face is. Keeping everything to the top half is gonna make a really big difference in just giving it more of a tight look, and a younger look. And then one other spot we're gonna put it is right under the chin. Moving on to blush. Now, there's been a lot of, everyone changes their minds all the time. Everyone says do only matte blush on mature skin, don't do blush at all, but blush is actually very important. And doesn't matter if it's matte or shimmery. I prefer shimmery just a little bit because when we are younger, our skin glows naturally. Well, mind you, her skin glows naturally too. But we're gonna use a shimmery. This is the Extra Dimension blush from MAC in the shade Cheeky Bits. So it is a peach. Now, for bronzer, keep everything from here back. With blush, you want to keep everything right in the middle. When you look forward, you have a nice glow going on. And I like to do a little bit right there. So pretty. Now for highlighter, you want to make sure that you use one that doesn't have any chunky glitter. If you don't want to use a highlighter, don't use a highlighter. You don't have to. I enjoy the look of highlighter. Shocking, I know. Just make sure that it is a fine pressed highlighter like this one. This one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills in collaboration with Amrezi. Yeah, just make sure that it is a pressed, no chunky glitters in it. Using a fan brush. The fan brush will give you a lot more of a diffused look. And we're just gonna go right up here. So we're just gonna keep it right underneath the eyes. We're not gonna go anywhere else with it. We are just gonna create like a little V. It's so pretty. Ugh. Sorry. Got distracted, okay? Okay, and then we are just gonna put a little bit top lip and take the pinkies. And that's it for base. Do you feel 10 years younger yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Job is done here. Just kidding, it's not done. What do you want for eyes?
Something fun.
Everything is fun to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now moving on to probably, it can be the more difficult part of doing makeup on mature skin is eyeshadow. So today I am going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Volume 4. Just because this one has a lot of really nice neutral colors, has some fun colors. We're going to keep it more neutral today. And we are going to play with a little bit of the shaping of the eye. Best shades to use are the more warmer neutrals. I find those blend the easiest. They look good on every skin tone. And really the key with eyeshadow is just the blending. When you think you're done blending, you're probably not. You should probably blend some more. All right, so we're gonna take, in this palette, it is A4. This is one of my go-to transition colors. Now with Mom's eyes, she is, open them, does have a little bit of a hood. That's fine. We're gonna make the eyes look open and bigger than they are. And this is not gonna affect us in any way, shape, or form. So while she has her eyes open, while her eyes are open, we are just gonna put our brush and right where the crease is, we're just gonna put a light line right there. Just so that we know where it is. Now we're gonna take a bit more of that shade. And I would recommend pulling the eyebrow up. It just tightens the skin a little bit so you don't have any drag while you're doing eyeshadow. And instead of going back and forth, we wanna make sure that we're always just going in one direction. All right, and just like with when we did bronzer, we want to keep the darker colors to more the outside. So we're gonna take like a medium warm brown right now with kind of a flatter tip brush, brush. So close. And with this, we're just gonna tap it on the outer corner. And pulling it out at an angle is gonna open up the eye a bit more and lift it a bit more to open. So already you can see how just with putting that one shadow on this corner, it automatically is lifting the eye up. And then we're gonna take our blending brush from earlier. And we're just gonna go along all the edges. Like I said, when you think you're done blending, you're probably not. Just blend a little more. So now before we get rid of this brush, we're gonna dip it into that medium shade. Tap most of the product off. Okay. And right on this outer corner, we're just gonna connect and pulling up. Then we're gonna grab a smaller flat brush, and in this palette there's a light warm brown. We're gonna grab that and same thing, look up. This one we're gonna take all the way across. Perfect. Now with doing shimmer on the eyes, as you can see, like in this palette, there's a bunch of different glitters. There's a really chunky glitter right here. We have some more like frosty shadows. The frosty ones are the ones that you wanna use on mature skin. So we're actually gonna mix C1 and B1, and we're gonna make a bit of like a rose gold type color. And usually, like for myself, I used pretty much the same color. I wet my brush before I put it on my eyes. But with Mum, we're not gonna do that. We basically just want to give the eye a more awake look. So taking those two colors and just sweeping them across the lid. And then in the corner here, we're gonna tap it on. So if you see on clients, if they have looser skin on their eyes, you never want to pull. It's gonna make your eyeshadow sit in those lines. Instead, you wanna tap everything in. And then on the lid where the skin is fine, there you can sweep it across. Now for inner corner, I am gonna take the highlighter that we used earlier, the Resi one, and taking a little dome shape brush. And right on the inner corner, again, you just wanna tap just to bring a bit of brightness to the eye. And this is also gonna give the eye a bit more of an awake look and a more youthful look. And then with that brush as well, we're gonna go right under the brow bone. But we're not gonna do it all the way across. We're only gonna be doing it in the very highest point. For setting spray, you don't wanna use anything that's too drying, like the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face Setting Spray. You also don't wanna use anything with a shimmer, like the Dewy Set from Anastasia. I like going in with something that has a little bit more hydrating quality. So Fix Plus is definitely a good option to use. And this one is the Cherry Blossom one from the spring collection. And then while they're still in this position, tell them not to move. Don't move. And dry it. So then once it is mostly dry looking. Okay, so one of my favorite tricks, if you are a makeup artist, with Sephora, sometimes with your points, you can get like little miniature mascaras. I always get them. And that way, if you have a client, you can just give them a mini mascara that they can keep. That way you don't really have to worry about having disposable wands. And then they can take it with them, especially for wedding days, prom. I usually do like a little mini touch-up kit that includes a mini mascara, a little bit of the lip gloss that I use on them. Make sure they leave prepared for anything that might happen. And again, on mascara, keeping everything to the outer corner for the most part is going to give the lashes a thicker look on the end, which in turn is going to lift the eye more. Now for lips. So one of the main things is before you start using any kind of products, ask your client if they know that they have any sensitivities to certain products. Because my dear mother cannot use MAC lipsticks. They do not agree with her in any way, shape, or form. But can use pretty much anything else from MAC. Just the lipsticks. Not too sure why that is. So definitely make sure in your kit you have a lot of options of lipsticks, lip glosses from different companies. And if you do depot your products, make sure you label them so you know what you're working with. And usually on more mature skin, I like to just use a tinted lip gloss. Makes lips look juicy. So the lip gloss I'm using is from Pat McGrath. It's one of my favorites. These ones are really nice because they don't go super tacky. once you put them on. Perfect. And that is the finished look. It's very youthful. It is very glowy.
Hey.
With not being glittery. There's a big difference between glittery and glowy.
Not all huge glitter is gold.
No, not all glitter is glowy. And not all glow is glittery. But sometimes they mix the two together and it's glorious. So this is the finished look on my mama. So pretty. You like it?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it does. You're so pretty. Your eyes are actually kind of blue today.
Right?
Yeah.
You blue?
Blue. Blue. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below. Tell me different kinds of videos that you would like to see. If you like this style more educational, more step-by-step, let me know. Or if you just want basic makeup, let me know too. I can do both. Make sure you check out my Instagram at kendra.mua and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Goodbye!